Peace, 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 and blessings, my loves. Grand rising, grand day, golden rising, rich rising, infinite rising. Wherever you are in this lovely universe, I am doing the 5 minute ancestor readings for my fire signs. We are using the Orisha Tarot. Okay. And today we have the Knight of Cups. Okay. Knight of Cups is hardworking, often doing repetitive jobs. At best, this card represents someone who is generous and tireless in service for their community. At its worst, it speaks of someone who is petty, irritable, and complains endlessly about the job at hand. In the Orisha tradition, run on food, when it was first initiated, one of my elders explained to me that a priest was obliged to be a good host and feed the people who came into their house. In this card, we meet the head of the kitchen, a person who knows all about traditional foods and how to prepare them. This person also knows how to run a kitchen for larger events. Running a kitchen full of volunteers and cooking for lots of people is a taxing thing to do. Each animal that is sacrificed must have its parts prepared for spirit, and the rest cooked for the people present. All must be carefully kept separate to avoid a taboo item ending in place. It is uncommon for people to cook and clean all day for several days in a row at a priest initiation. It is not uncommon, for people to cook for days and clean for days. Tempers can run high, emotions can overflow. The head cook's job is to keep everyone working together and on track. So the symbolism: cook is working in the kitchen. Images of various traditional food symbolizes the practical knowledge required. A pot boiling representing both food being prepared and the possibility of things boiling over. This card shows us how we do under pressure. When work is tiring and thankless, our flaws and triggers, along with our character, will show. So this is referring to your life fire signs. They work and sweat all the time only to have it happen again the next week. It's a time of great effort without obvious end. Repetitive, thankless jobs that don't get us anywhere. People who argue when the pressure is on. Take a break, hydrate, don't speak in anger, and host a dinner that ends with sweet food. So what I'm getting from that is you need to do some work when it comes to your triggers, and look deep at your flaws. How do you work when you're under pressure? What bubbles up to the surface when you're working when you're under pressure? Do you become snappy? Do you become irritable? If you do, how do you handle those things and still serve your community? Or um, whatever you do, if that's for business, what have you. How do you step up to the plate and still do what you do in a better light, as opposed to allowing those triggers and those flaws to peer through, and not necessarily to keep stuffing them, but how do you actually face those flaws and those triggers head on and combat them in a positive way? All right, that completes my 5 minute ancestor messages for my fire sign. Have an amazing day, and Ashe.